cost. Like, there's cost in all of this. People realize that it's expensive to run this stuff. And then how to integrate that into another format, it's hard work. I'm not saying anyone is or isn't, but and I also honestly missed what happened, but do the bloody what is it? Austin Powers thing? $10 years, or the debate over how many seconds in 10 years. That's Django being very precise. 315,569,260. Anyway, I haven't been commenting on this. Jox is picking the last champion at the moment. We've got Blood Run. Nessie picking Anarchy. Jox picking Ranger. Oh, I'm scared about the Anarchy. Corrupted Keep. Jox on Death Knight and Blaster. There's some really weird picks going on at the moment. There's some really weird picks. What's happened to Visor? Where's Visor gone? Oh, we're seeing a Nyx, possibly. No one want to pick Visor? I guess Visor's viable on Corrupted Keep. Interesting, though. And Sorlag also. Sorlag is viable definitely on Awoken. But yeah, that's what we got, guys. And we're going to get into game hopefully soon. Jox is here. They're setting themselves up. Any interesting matchups to look forward to? It's tough to tell because we're going on the tournament basis. Winner of this game could eventually go versus Cypher. There's possibly a Demon Picava game. I mean, there's like a few. Honestly, I don't even know. Sirius is somewhere along the line. The final is always going to be great, by the way. Finals always be good. Yo, Max of 13 months. Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Coming back for September. September indeed, dude. Thank you so much. 50% off subs. So if you want to sub to your 4th or 5th favorite streamer, hopefully I fall above 10th. You can do it, Shango. You can win. Yeah, Nessie beat Bukster 2-0. That's like a big WTF to me. That makes me think that he's favorite for this game. La Diavolessa, I'm not saying you're wrong on anything, but let's be nice, okay? Let's be nice. Don't be abrasive. You're close to a 10-seconder. Despite me appreciating the content you've been producing. Let's all be nice. Let's all be nice and happy.
3, 2, 1.
Guys, let's move into game. Nessie versus Jox. Nessie is Danish, and I'm only saying that based on his flag that he has on his profile. Oh, Nessie. Oh, he's hurting a lot. Jox should almost commit for that. Right, he's not going to be able to. Nessie's going to be able to stack up a little bit. Unless you're getting caught out a bit of that rail. Oh, that splash was enough. He was on about 10 or 15 health or so. Should be another one, unless his weak nail work is decent. Look at that, Jox has got the mega health. He's got the light. Now he's got LG, and he's got a kill. And Nessie just runs right into him. I don't like Nessie's Anarchy. Only because he tends to die a lot with it in the early game. You can sometimes string together some good plays later on, but... Well, this is risky. Risky, but works. Just gotta watch out that light kind of wrecks things. I would have loved to have seen a rocket there to zone out the light or punish on it. I think that would have been the best weapon to switch to. Just because it would have been obvious that Nessie was going to for that item. And now Jock's realizing that he can't easily challenge for the heavy. He hasn't got an orb to get up there. The damage is okay, but it's really not enough still. Then that LG hurts. Good use of an orb though to escape. Drox just needs to focus on getting a good position for heavy. He knows where he is. Oh, LG could have been a good punish then. Otherwise, if he hits the rail, I wouldn't have said anything. That's close, man. That's super close. It's just survival mode at the moment. Damage is amazing from Jox. And we have got a rotation of items coming out in a second. But I think Jox is going to be late on this. He's not going to do damage, and it's going to be two big items, unless he's going to have survived that. And now, he's got enough. He can get himself a kill, actually. Jox doesn't have anything to work with. If this isn't a kill, I'll be amazed. And it's not. That is really surprising. Jox somehow managed to get good enough damage output. A lot of HP just went to a Nessie, so Jox has got nothing to work with here. And because these items are up, that light should go over to... Never mind. I thought Jox was over the other side, but my eyes were deceiving me. Nice little play from a Nessie, leaving the Mega Health up to do this. That's some heads-up play from him. Looking good. He's making some strong plays, and he's not just overplaying the items. Just missed out on rockets, but it's fine. Oh my god. I think the full blast just came out there. That was a shed load of damage. Unless he may have heard that. Deny it. Deny it. Deny it. Thank you. Rocket jump. Yeah, that was a little bit sketchy there because he's got so little ammunition. Unless he pushes through there. Even though he's low HP, that would have been quite annoying to deal with. Alright, someone mentioned the name Viam. Does anyone think it is Viam? It's not Viam, is it? I mean, this guy's essentially a CA player. He's an Unholy Trinity player. It's basically the same. Viam was also very good at TDM. Nice work there from Jox. Since getting into control, he's done a great job of not going out of it. Unless he's not being as punishing. Something he was very good at versus Bukster was always being around items and always dealing damage. And he's had a lot harder time doing that on this occasion. That vertical rail was really nice from Jox. Alright, speaking of Austin Powers as I did earlier, that was the steamroller slowly crawling towards the man that doesn't get out of the way. And he just stood there screaming. Another fantastic shot. Good job from Nessie to somehow get that. I was just reading what Green Penny was saying. Nessie is .ogc. Nessie, Albs and Sirius' CA teammate from Quake Live. Really? Alright, now we're getting the facts out. I like it. There's some player knowledge from you, for you. Wow, Nessie goes in hard. Jox overcompensates with the angle on the nails. So Nessie, it sounds like he's been playing for a decent amount of time anyway then, if he was in Quake Live. And especially if he was playing Clan Arena with the likes of Sirius and Alb, then he's not going to be a new player. Oh man, there's running it. There's desperation. That you don't need to be that desperate. And we know that players with a Clan Arena background can be successful in duel, and Sirius really is the highlight of that. And Nessie is just pushing and pushing and pushing at the moment. Actually, this is really, really difficult now for Jox because he's not got. Oh, he sneaks his way onto the mega health. He's running low, though. He's going to have the rail out, I'd imagine. Unless he is actually going to back off. Because he's on his way to the comeback. Just a case now of attacking at the right moment. Yeah, right, Clark. Rocket jump off, probably. Oh, he's on there too early. Jox does dismount fairly well, but he did not need to take that 86 damage. Yeah, Jox is Icelandic, guys. Jox is not as much as a veteran as Bukster is, but he's a decent player. When I was playing well, I would say that Jox was like 5% better than me. Like 5% better than when I was peaking, basically. Tribal usage as savage. Boy, I think he realized he's gonna rocket himself, and he's like, "This angle sucks." He's kind of just giving up in the fight, despite still being in the midst of it. Jox has been really good with the tribal. One of the things that's kept him in this game and helped him maintain this lead. It's been a tough game for him, actually. But it's been a nice blood run. Like, this is the kind of blood run games that I can enjoy watching. And although there's nothing wrong with the players having those, you know, really slow blood runs where you've got, you know, an inherent advantage with the champion you're using. That was a bit of a silly move from Jox, to be honest. Especially considering technically, theoretically, the comeback is still possible. Well, he's not finding him. Oh, I was saying something. I've totally forgotten what it is now. Nessie's going to bring it one closer, but it is going to be GG. Yeah, like the, what was it? Base running away from Avec, for instance. There's nothing wrong with the players doing it. It's like the matchups have allowed those strategies to be so viable. But Anarchy versus Ranger's quite interesting because they're two fairly mobile champions in their own right. Obviously, Anarchy very mobile, and Ranger is mobile enough that he can always make a comeback. It would have been a lot harder if there was like a sort of a 6 frag lead or something for Anarchy, or 5 frag lead, then I think it would have been very, very difficult. But Nessie doesn't strike me as someone who has a strong defensive game. He strikes me as someone with a much stronger offensive game. Although versus Bukster, I gotta say, he had a strong defensive game by how good he was at his aggression. So, yeah, it kind of worked. That was the best defense I'd seen from him, but he's got good aggression. His team. Hell, why aren't you in these Challenger League Cups, man? He's starving us from this. Okay, so we're going now to DK versus BJ on Corrupted Keep. Alright. La Divalesa. That's going to be a timeout for you, mate. It's going to 10 minutes afterwards. But anyone who's like egging this on is also getting the same treatment, okay? I'm not doing any, I'm not trying to be biased.
Round begins in 3, 2.
Guys, let's move into game now. Map 2 between an SE and Jox. That LG is tasty. Oh, I'm actually really excited to see what NS is going to do. Once he can get into like a dual-wield LG fight. Nom, 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 nom. He needs more LG though. Who picked which map? I can tell you, but you have to give me a moment. Blood Run was picked by Anesi. So this is going to be Jox's pick. Apparently not, Synthesis. According to... Jox banned on Blood Run, so I presume you ban it against the opponent's map pick. But I think you're right, Jox wouldn't be unhappy with that map, and it clearly wasn't, considering you won it. And Essie just charging with the lightning gun. He gives no Fs. I respect the attempt at the mid-air, but the execution I respect less. Yeah, the flame duration on the floor is going up, I believe, by a couple of seconds. Ooh. Jox with the punish. Excuse me, guys. Jock's going to respect the dual wield. I like the angle he took on the drop. There's going to be a second or so left of dual wield, but that's a perfect initial rocket. Very close at the moment. Jock's a little bit too confrontational off the spawn. His stack wasn't great enough. I was trying to muffle it, guys, alright? Settle down. Jock's stealing away all the resource content. He's somehow taken a tiny amount of damage on the exit. That's annoying for an SE. He really wants to be doing some damage, and now he's actually done more than Jox did. He just rocketed himself. Jox should be looking to aggress soon, even versus a dual wield. Oh, wow, he actually gets a drop and still manages to pick up the item. There should be a health bubble here. Now he can run towards Heavy, who's just seen him, so he'll be a little late on it. But Jox is going to feel bad. I think he approached the Mega Health in a very odd way. It's like he wanted it, but he also wanted to bait it in at the same time. And unless he just got wrecked. But I think Jox should either committed to the bait or, like, committed to going for it in a more aggressive way to begin with. We'll get these trades, man, with the nail gun, unless he's not afraid to challenge with that weapon. I don't like it, Convex, because it tells me this room's too dusty. Which only speaks volumes about myself. really brave for Jox to go on that platform for that health bubble. It's usually like a bait bubble anyway. Jox is actually somehow managing to stack up anyway. He's getting himself onto the lights, which is really important. But he really needs health bubbles, and... Oh my god. I can't believe... Why are you here, Jox? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself the question why you're hanging around so long. I think that's one thing that could have been genius, is if he did get around that corner, he almost certainly gets himself onto the heavy armor. But he was just a bit slow at it. No, Jox! You would have survived that. I kind of wish Jox picked Visor instead, though, because Visor was available, but he still went with this. I think... Okay, Ranger wasn't available. Unless he banned Scale Bearer on this map, by the way. That's a very weird ban. But I think... Yeah, I would have definitely gone Visor. God, even I think Eisen would have been better. So that's some nice dual-wield LG, guys. That's difficult to do. I panic with dual-wield LG. I panic most of the time anyway. And Jock's caught right off the spawn. To me, this is like 2 frags from being over this map. Because NSE's now finding him right at the start. There was even a light armor he could have gone for too, but he's just going for top area control, which is... It's been really nice from him. Jox is way too early for this. This last bullet HMG kills. Love it. Well, the 1 bullet HMG kills, should I say. Don't pick CK versus Amy. I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time, just don't pick DK on CK. Almost, like, never pick DK. There's, like, no point. I think DK is possibly the weakest champion at the moment. And the only place that I'd say he's viable, although I've seen a really good demonstration from him, is probably on Vale. Oh, man. You hate to see it. Guys, there's still time for a comeback, okay? There's still time. Still time, don't worry. Still time, okay? There's still time. Alright, so we are going to go to Awoken where we're going to see Eisen versus Nyx. I'm keen to see that. What is that picture? Alright, we can like fade our way through to the end of this. Jock's getting caught off the spawn, running at NSE a little too much. But by the time it was 9-2 or so, it kind of felt like Jock was looking forward to the next map. No, QPL, you can only play the champion once, and then it gets sort of automatically banned out. Oh man, that spicy dual wield super shotgun. Which street have you been hearing this word, Kadisha? The Russian street. Interesting. Please direct me to your street. Arbitrary sauces. I'd love to know as soon as possible if there is going to be a Defrag World Cup, because I want to like schedule some time to do it and make some content for it. Well, that turned out pretty steep, man. 49% LG, 3.3k damage with the LG. Yeah, this is definitely someone who played Clan Arena. Definitely. We get a tiebreaker. We get a full tiebreaker. Alright, let's see how much further we are getting along this. So it does look like we're on our way to a Pekava Demon. Demon's going versus Akira Germany, and Pekava goes versus J Skay. Science Up could go versus WNTT. So if they were going against each other, oh, that would make it so good. Winner of this one probably goes versus Karvik. Very, very tempted to go along to Demon Pekava if that happens. Or Silent Steps game, whichever appears first. Yo, Kvar, thank you so much for the 11 months, man. Appreciate you.
Balls out.
I'm definitely not contractually obligated. But honestly, I thought Anesi was going to get beaten by Bukster, and then we were going to watch Bukster versus Jox, because that's like a fairly expected game, I think, on these type of tournaments. It's like, yeah, Jox versus Bukster. What are we? We're like midway through a tournament. It could be any year from 2015 to now, basically. But it just wasn't the case. Cypher and Sirius are both playing, but there's honestly no point jumping into a early game of theirs because it's just stomps, absolute stomps. So this game's big, okay? We start to actually get to some okay points for the players if they make it through this round. Now, I don't even know who to favorite in this. I would normally have favorited...
Balls out.
I would have favorited Bukster if he got to this point, but I guess it's unless he beat Bukster, I have to favorite him? I don't know. Holy crap, guys. Interdictor for the sub. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And Telly TV as well for the 2 months. Thank you so much, guys. Wow, Jox actually makes it down because Jox used his Ghost Walk, I'm pretty sure, to get to that position. He's going to just about get here. And his LG's going to be good. A Nessie, an unnecessary Nessie challenge. You see what I did there? Please don't hate me. Oh, that was almost perfect. That was also unnecessary. Sorry, I'm enjoying this way too much. I think this too, possibly, because like this was a free item for him, given on NSC's position. Trying my best, Pank and I. Jox is delivering at the moment with the damage. He's not even been fussed at all by... Oh, he's going to find him. You know, it is okay to kill the turret. Because of that, he's missed out on the mega health. Wow, I'm pushing him off. Please kill the turret. Don't know why he's pushing through here. I like that Jox doesn't commit. It's like he knew the spawn was going to happen regardless, so he's like, I'll back away. Everything's fine. He heard the teleporter, so he could go in for that light armor. But he's been really... It's not about being the... It's not been about the resources. It's been about locking down Anessi's position and punishing it. And he's been doing a phenomenal job at that. He's ghost walked himself into a really good spot for the heavy, so he should win this fight. He'll get the 25 health bubble, and I think he was going to rush down Mega. This has been excellent from Jox. I wouldn't say there's been aggressive. Oh, the lost rocket. I wouldn't say they've been aggressive ghost walks as such, but it's allowed him to put himself into really strong positions and then forced Nessie to make a decision of whether he wants to fight or not. Unfortunately, that's possibly the weakest thing that we've seen from Jox this entire game. But he spawns with heavy control. And he's going to get himself rockets too. Oh, Woody, please. You're starting to sound like Sensei now. I respect it though. Nessie's got a lot of work to do to get back into this. Starts with a risky jump. Actually, Jox almost dies from that. Yeah, Jox has to back away. Even though he's done well in this, he still has to leave. And if I were Jox, I'd try and slow things down quite a bit. Do damage on items. Keep yourself 175. And then just try to force out a mistake of some sort. That was good timing on Mega Health. Jox has been really slippery at the moment. Wow. I think Nessie was expecting him to fade around towards the lightning gun room, but he held this crazy off angle, which made it super hard for him to figure out what was going on. Oh, he ran out of LG, which is why he stopped using that. Got that LG ammo box though on the corner. That's going to be another one for Jox. It's been a phenomenal awoken for Jox. And Nessie's just pushing. I'm looking to force the spawn over by a heavy, but it doesn't work out for him. You know what? That doesn't work out, but he's going to find him again off the spawn. He's got no ghost walk. And Nessie's fully stacked. He's going to be able to punish really hard now. But Jox hits a rail and then uses his ghost walk. Okay, this has become interesting as hell again. I guess he just wants to survive. Yo, Acheron of the 4 months. Thank you, man. And thank you also for the words. So risky, so risky. You don't need to take... He was probably going to give up an angle at some point, but he kind of ended up making it an easier one. If the drop there would have been really sick, in my opinion. But he's not taking too many aggressive plays. I would have probably been aggressive there and got punished hard for it and died. But he keeps control of an item. He should get paid off of the kill here. His LG was a little weak, but he still gets the kill. And this is where Nessie kind of falters a bit. He's just over aggressive. Whoa! Okay. Jock's gone done messed up. Is the game volume too quiet, guys? I'll if like more than 2 people say it, then I'll generally change it. So I think to me, Nessie's got this. This would be a maybe a little reminiscent of Evil Style in Quake Live. Very aggressive, but doesn't really know the right moment to slow down. And when I say Evil Style in Quake Live, I mean before he became a god. So you can get games where we saw on Corrupted Keep, he wins by a mile. And then this game here where he's kind of losing hard because if he's got control, he's hitting his shots and things are going well, he can get a great lead. But you keep taking those risks when you're not in the lead and you're not in control, and it's going to go total other way. Against Bukster, his game versus Bukster, in my opinion, was his best showing today. Could be like, okay, I'll change it up after this game then, guys. I'll try not to forget. I think it's going to be too late for Nessie to get back in here. Jox is going to get himself a good position. And I think Jox is going to be very grateful to Nessie for beating Bukster. Because that would have presented a big obstacle for Jox. Nessie's still going for it. Let's have a look at some weapon usage stats. Nessie's still using tons of LG. Actually, not as much as Jox, surprisingly. He is hitting better accuracies, though. But Jox's rail has been great. And look at the light armor split between Jox and Nessie. 24-9. And if you look at the major items, it's actually relatively even. There's just a huge discrepancy on the light armors. Nessie doesn't really like to stack up before going for a kill. He just likes to go for the kill. And he's going to get punished again. And that's GG right there. The Gegs. No, actually even mid-fight. That seemed weird. Nice LG, says Jox. Don't blame him for saying that. That is a ridiculous amount of lights, though, that Jox got. 25 in the end. 6 heavies, 10 megas.